What's going on, guys? 24/7 Tech here, and Apple has updated the MacBook Pros for the 4th time in this design cycle. Unluckily, we didn't get the sick looking refresh that I thought that would be coming, but we did get some solid upgrades to the MacBook Pro, I think, which makes it a much better overall machine, and I'll be talking about those today in this video.
As always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to watch some more awesome tech videos in the future.
As I said in the clip before, guys, take 1 second out of this video, subscribe down below. Every subscriber makes a difference, and each time the count goes up, it makes my heart jump. It's such a good feeling, guys. Please subscribe down below before you go. So the MacBook Pros have been pretty stagnant in the design aspect, but one thing that has been changing is the keyboard. We are now technically on our 4th gen keyboard, guys. That just says how much of that the butterfly keyboard is messing up. But now Apple states that they are much more secure, and they are also going to update, and they'll give free replacements to every 3rd gen keyboard, such as which affects these models that are listed below: the MacBook Pro 2018 with Touch Bar and the MacBook Air 2018. So those machines will get a free replacement, but there has to be some issues with it, and then you can get a free replacement at any Apple store. And you can't go to the Apple store and say you want a replacement just because you don't like it. You have to have an issue with it, then they will replace it. Now let's get to the internals of the MacBook Pro. So the 13-inch with Touch Bar, which starts at $1799, is now improved, and the 15-inch MacBook Pros are improved. I think the 15-inch MacBook Pros are turning into a complete monster for video editing, since they now feature 8-core processors, which is mind-blowing. On a laptop, an 8-core processor with macOS for video editors, that is a boon. That is so good for video editors, and the multi-core scores were already out of the charts for the 15-inch. I can't wait to see. I think the multi-core scores will be probably 30 grand or above. That is amazing. Those processors that you find 8 cores is the iMac Pro baseline, and that's a $5,000 machine. You can get an 8-core processor for $2,800 in a MacBook Pro, and you can get an 8-core processor in iMac Pro for $5,000. That shows how much the 15-inch MacBook Pro has evolved in these 4 years. According to Apple, the 9th gen processors featured in the 15-inch computers are much faster than the old ones, than the 8th gen processors that we saw last year. Sadly, the 13-inch ones did not get 9th gen processor updates, but the 8th gen processors are also now faster. But the 15-inch jump is much more significant than the 13-inch, so I wouldn't recommend upgrading from the 2018 13-inch to the 2019 13-inch, but the 15 inches have a decent jump, but still not worth upgrading, because you can get your keyboard replaced in an Apple store if there's an issue, if that's your main issue. So I think that these 15-inch 9th gen processors are going to be completely boss. There are now 2 configurations that you can get an i9 processor in. So the first one is a $2,800 computer, which gets you an i9 processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, a Radeon Pro 560X, and 512 gigabytes of storage. There is an upgrade that you can do for the i9 processor to get a better clock speed from 2.3 to 2.4 gigahertz, and the turbo boost goes from 4.8 to 5 gigahertz, guys. That's a 5 gigahertz turbo boost, which is a lot for $200. But my question is, thermal throttling, as you can see, was a big issue with last year's 2018 MacBook Pros, and so many YouTubers were saying that this was going on fire, it was too hot, and thermal throttling really stopped it. And Apple did issue a software update which did fix it, but I feel like since these are 8-core processors, maybe the MacBook Pro's thin unibody, slim body can't handle that much, but we have to see with testing if these things thermal throttle as well. And if they do, this might lead to another fiasco that Apple had last year in July with thermal throttling with their 15-inch machines. Overall, this MacBook Pro update was pretty solid, adding some nice processor increases, but I don't think it's worth buying a MacBook Pro right now, since next year we're going to see definitely a redesigned MacBook Pro, since it's 4 years in the product cycle. And since we've already had this design for a long time now, Apple's definitely due to refresh it. And if it looks anything like this picture, I'm completely stoked for it. It looks so nice, and I'm definitely going to wait out for it if I were you. Thanks for watching, guys. 24/7 Tech signing out. Please please subscribe down below. Every subscriber makes a difference, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya!